right, take it away.
All right, episode number 8 of Performance Academy podcast with your boy Zach
and Josh, your boy, also here.
Your boy. All right, we're back at it again. So we're just gonna start off as we do with our personal fitness going on. How about you start off?
Okay, well, I can talk about this for a bit. So I kind of 2 weeks ago, I think I was going in, or I guess technically 3 weeks ago, I was kind of like maxing out on like all my different training sessions, running, swimming, lifting, jiu-jitsu, and like I noticed that week, like I was just like it was just super grind. I wasn't really looking forward to my lifting sessions, and that also might also be because like they're just kind of maintenance, so they're not that exciting. So it's just I'm fighting to maintain, so it's not exciting. So you're not really chasing anything there. You're just so like that might be an issue too. But then also in like jiu-jitsu, I was just feeling like beat, like kind of like just not feeling fresh coming into it. So like I knew like I know it was like enough time had passed. Like I think it was like 6-7 weeks maybe. So I was like, okay, well like this was when I was gonna take a deload. So then I deloaded. I went like half my weight on like all my my lifts for the most part, or a little bit more. And then I don't think I ran. I don't think I swam that week, and then I felt really good at jiu-jitsu that whole week, which makes sense.
Feeling refreshed,
but like my performance went up like noticeably. Like I felt good. Like I wasn't beat up, fatigued, and like it's a huge difference in your rolling, especially like I've been doing it for like jiu-jitsu for like almost I don't know, a year and a half now, and like when I'm with my other white belts, like I'm pretty decent, like skill wise, and I can hang with them, even though I'm probably the lightest in the group that I train with, but like I still was doing pretty well, and I really noticed it that week, but when I'm not feeling like I'm super fresh and like my then I noticed that like I'm kind of fighting like physically and grinding more as opposed to like moving quickly and feeling fresh and like getting stuff done that I need to do when I'm like rolling and sparring with people. So I just feel that like I need to be like given that like I'm thinking about like changing up my training routine, and then the following week like it was when like all the smoke was in the air and whatnot too.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then I still didn't run whatnot, and then I ended up Monday coming in off my deload, my low back I was hurt from jiu-jitsu, so I was like I kind of went under the bar to squat, started doing some warm-up sets. I was like, no, I can't do it, even though I wanted to because I only squat once a week and took a week off. So I knew that technique was kind of diminishing and strength was diminishing at that point. But I was like, it's not the smart thing to do. So I cut all my lower body exercises that day, and then I kind of just did the rest of the week like normal. And then, but now I'm thinking like since like weightlifting is becoming so stale and whatnot, and then it's kind of like I'm not feeling fresh going into my workouts. I'm not really liking it. I think I'm gonna change up my routine, and then kind of like change up some of the exercises. Like I'm even considering like ditching like the barbell squat, like totally. And I was thinking about replacing it with like a Bulgarian split squat, like something like a pole or something to hold on to, and just loading it heavier for the balance. And replacing it like with that, just so like I'm not beating myself up like so much, because I definitely am doing jiu-jitsu 3 times a week of hard rolling, and when I get going into these compound lifts and like then throw running on top of my joints, that's just like
it's not recovering.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm not recovering adequately enough to go into the next routine or the next exercise training session at peak performance. And especially like when like my goal right now is to like improve my endurance or my technical ability in jiu-jitsu, like whether or not I go to the Navy, like that's more so like an endurance event anyways. So like I just feel like I need to abandon like not abandon, but like not hold on to like my strength gains or like worry about those as much and kind of cut that back. I think that's what I'm planning on doing actually.
100%.
Yeah, but yeah, because I think mostly like the squat I feel like is like the big one that's really like kind of beat me up. It's just the stuff that taxes my low back all the time.
Yeah.
Because I play a lot of like guard, open guard, or half guard in jiu-jitsu, and I'm always get people kind of smashing and stacking into me. So like my low back is just getting beat up all the time.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I just feel like for longevity's sake and whatnot, and like I said, it's kind of like being counterproductive right now. Although I hate to like give up a barbell back squat because it is, I would say, like the single best exercise you can do and whatnot. But I feel for like right now, like it's not as it's not as beneficial to me as it is. I think it's more so like negative to my overall performance in my various tasks.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's unfortunate you don't have like an option for a like more machine based squat because we don't have that
Mm-hmm.
option over at the Y.
Yeah.
Have you been working out the Y at all? Or
No. Not at
I've
all.
been going like once, maybe twice a week over there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean that sounds like a good idea. But I mean, if you're really trying to focus on, getting good at jiu-jitsu and whatnot, like the barbell back squat is not the most specific to that, right?
Yeah, but
Like maximal strength is not. I think like power, like fast force production,
mm-hmm.
and different planes of motion are a lot more important physiologically as opposed to like maximal strength
Yeah,
in the sagittal plane.
I'm mostly using it for like maintenance of muscle mass and like injury prevention, whatnot. And
Mm-hmm.
then like I'm kind of split. Like my training's not solely jujitsu, but it's also kind of like possibly joining the Navy. So I want to maintain like that muscle mass and like that like strong joints and whatnot.
Yeah,
Just for like when mileage adds up to
I
prevent
think
injury.
there's other ways to do it
Yeah,
that
but I mean
aren't.
that's why like, I'm only doing like say squat once a week, and I'm not like my secondary day. Like I have like hip thrusts and then what is it? Hip thrusts and leg extensions as my main leg exercises, and some leg curls. So like it's not like there's too much like hard like volume on my legs.
Uh-huh.
Like that second day is just to get a stimulus to like my quads and my hamstrings. That's mostly like glutes with my hip thrust being like the main compound movement. So I'm only really doing
Gotcha.
one hard compound day of squats, but that's why I'm thinking I might just replace it with like a single leg Bulgarian split squat.
Yeah, I mean you don't even really need that one like really hard day, honestly.
Yeah, I know, but
I think you're just like stuck in that mentality, like, oh, you got to do squats.
I mean, I think you gotta have a squat pattern.
Yeah, but like, I mean, I have, yeah, I mean, I haven't really been doing squats. I'll mix it up. I'll do like, well, I'll get to it in a second, but yeah, I mean, there's lots of other variations you can do,
Yeah,
of a squat movement without doing like a back squat,
yeah,
So, yeah, you know,
yeah. I'm just thinking that like because like I definitely am in better shape now than when I first started, whatnot. Um, but like I said, I think it's kind of like all my training, like when I'm kind of peaking with all my running, lifting, and jujitsu, whatnot. Like it's kind of like it's not like it's not like it should make me better. Like weightlifting and whatnot should like make me better at like say or increase my odds of being successful in the Navy or in jujitsu, right?
yeah.
But like it's kind of the point where it's being like it's detrimental to my performance.
That's how I was feeling with my lifting. I think I talked about it on the podcast. That's how I felt with my lifting when I was doing my triathlon. It got to a point where even doing a couple of sets, and I was even doing squats. I was doing like lunges. I was doing more like unilateral stuff, and it was just causing so much DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. I wasn't recovering. That I felt like it was a hindrance to my overall goal. So I think you're just kind of honing into what you really need to be doing physiologically, and your body can only do so much. Your body adapts to particular stimuluses. It can't do everything. That's why you don't see fucking powerlifters out there running marathons and vice versa.
Yeah.
Your body adapts, and you know, your training has to change with that. So I think that's just
Yeah.
you figuring it out.
Another thing I'm thinking about too is because like this, I have this printout that like the Navy gives for like recommendations, and it says really only do like one like top set for the most part. That's kind of like the thing it recommends. And I was
One
wondering
top set. What do you
like
mean?
one top set of like for like a squat or like any movement pattern, like where you really fatigue like the muscles, just like one heavy set.
Yeah, that's what they recommend.
That's kind of what they recommend. And I was thinking because like I'm gonna have to start moving more towards like push-ups and pull-ups. Like I already have one day where I kind of do that, but I was thinking about maybe like on a back squat at some point, like just having one top set or something just to kind of give that stimulus or whatnot. But
Sure.
like, I think because maybe I thought I cut my volume for maintenance, but like maybe my volume's a little too high with my intensity while I'm also trying to become a better endurance athlete.
Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like.
But like, cause I'm only at like
Doing too much.
three sets, but like maybe that volume's too high at that intensity while I'm doing like stuff that's trying to work on my endurance.
Yeah,
Like while I'm kind of like developing those transitional fibers that are less optimal for those higher output
most definitely.
intensity. So that's kind of like kind of like auto regulating like my program and kind of playing around with it.
Yeah, just honing it in. It takes a little time.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, what do you think? Like, I think like maybe if I cut the intent, like some of the volume on some of the stuff or change some of the other exercises.
I'd just say fuck all those heavy lifts and just do like air squats, like calisthenics, just like a lot of reps.
Yeah. See, that's kind
And
of hard because like that's probably like my ego that's saying like be a bitch, like don't take the easy way out. Like
but it's not easy.
I know.
It's very hard. Like just doing like when I got back into lifting, I didn't squat with any kind of weight for a couple weeks. I would just do air squats and I do like sets like 20 or whatever. I do like 3, 4. It just depended. And my quads were like fried. Like I was kind of worried one day. I was like, oh shit, like like I'm hurting right now. So like it's not. It's just you're trading volume for intensity. You know.
Yeah.
Or weight, however you want to kind of look
Yeah.
at it. So it's like, I don't think it's, what'd you say? It's
Bitching out.
bitching out. Yeah, it's not bitching out. It's just changing, because it's just changing what you're doing. You can make any workout as hard as you want it to be, you know.
You can't. But how's it set up for the rest of
Because
it?
you could lift a shitload of weight, but really not put that much into it. Only have like a couple of sets and do like some 2x2s or something, and like that, it's cool, but like you could probably do that and then just do some like bullshit like high volume like leg extensions and some curls or whatever, or you could just do like 100 air squats and you're gonna probably get a lot more results out of it if you're like the intensity is there and you're really trying to like get after it. Does that make any sense?
No, I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like this part is kind of fun though, like the whole like trying to like optimize like your program and like
Yeah.
dial it in, like do something and see like where it's kind of letting you down or whatnot.
You
Kind of like calibrating it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, you're just gonna find it along the way, but you just don't want to get in that analysis paralysis. And
Yeah.
just over examining everything and trying to optimize it to a T, like all the way through. Like just put it in some work, whether regardless if it's like super optimized or not, it's still gonna benefit you.
Yeah,
So
it is. I just think that because like I kind of ran through to my peak week, so like wherever I was 6 or 7 weeks in, and like at the end of it, I know it's like whoa, like this was like I'm in better shape, but like I said, it's kind of being at a cost. So like now I think this is like when I go in and kind of like make the small little adjustments that should be good enough.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like where I'm at with my physical fitness.
All right. That's good. That's lit. All right. I'll go into mine. Where I left you guys off last time, it was right before I did my triathlon. I ended up doing that. It was fun. It was a really cool experience. I was shooting for 3 hours and I did it in 2:52:47. I'm pretty happy about that. I dropped most of that time from the swim part because I had not trained at all with the wetsuit, and then I used the wetsuit. Have you ever swam with the wetsuit? Like swam?
I mean, I've been in the ocean and felt like how easy it is to just float.
Yeah.
And I don't float because I'm so skinny.
You legit, like, I like didn't have to kick at all.
You're just on top of the water.
Yeah, you just sit on the top of the water, and I was zooming, bro. It was crazy. I got the swim part done. I think I dropped like 7 minutes or something, 7-8 minutes, from my expected time with the swim, and that ended up kind of being the difference in the big gap from the 3 hours. So yeah, the swim went really, really smooth. Did the bike pretty smooth, no problems. Actually, I was intaking so much water, I had to fucking pee in between the bike and the run. I was like, oh shit, I gotta pee right now. I'm not gonna be able to hold this the next.
Where'd you do that at?
I finished up the bike at my house, and I was like, I can't go all the way inside, and that's gonna take too long. So I just went on the side of the house. I just peed real quick, and then just started running. And the run was the only bad part. It was so brutal. It was brutal.
That's kind of funny because usually, like when you're doing like an endurance event like that, like you're sweating so much, like you don't.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Exactly. So I was like really on it with my hydration, so that's good. Maybe even too much. So yeah, and then I got to the run, and right off the rip, my calves felt like concrete blocks. I was like, oh no, this is not good. I was like, shit. I was feeling really heavy, but I was chugging along. I was doing fine, and then I say about like 4 miles in, what happened first? Yeah, so like about 4 miles. So it's like the run is like a little over 6 miles. About 4 miles in, I started to get a spasm in my quad, my left vastus medialis, and I started to spasm. I was like, oh shit! Like I was panicking because I was like, it was just like, you want to
So weird.
you get a spasm. It's just like, and I'm trying to run while it, and it's just like I was freaking out, and I was intaking like salt tablet, or I mean, I had my I was drinking some Gatorade. So what they recommended, from what I could tell, is I didn't really know this, but you can oxidize 1 gram of carbohydrates per minute. So it's basically 60 grams an hour. So I was, right on there with that. I would take a gel pack every 30 minutes, and that was a little under, it was like 24, 25 or something like that grams. And then they all had a little bit different. Some had some caffeine, some had some amino acids, some had some sodium. I can't remember exactly. And then I would just top it off with Gatorade. I would just kind of sip some Gatorade, and that that had the sodium in it and also the carbs too. So I was like sipping Gatorade and getting that sodium in, but then by the time I got to the run, I was just taking tablets because I was out of Gatorade, and I had stopped, and I think that's what it was. I just didn't have enough salt, and that's why I was starting to get that spasm. Because right as soon as I took it, the spasm went away. I was like, okay, good. But then but right after that, like not even like maybe like 5, not even 10 minutes later, my feet went numb, and I never had that happen before. Running and my feet go numb, and that really scared me. I wanted to stop so bad because I was like, fuck, like I hope I'm not doing any kind of like damage to my feet, like I don't want to hurt myself. But I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep going. Like it was like really messing with me mentally, but finished it out. It was cool. As soon as I stopped, my feet felt fine. So I think it was just the pounding. Like
Did you
it,
like besides like spazzing? Did you like lock up or cramp up at all?
no, that
No.
was the only one. My left vastus medialis. That was it. Like I said, I was pretty on it with the nutrition and the salt intake. I think I was just kind of like, I thought I was good with the salt, so that's why I didn't take that last tablet. But as soon as that happened, I took it, and it was all good. It was cool. So the legit one got rescheduled for May, I believe. January, February, March, April, May. Yeah, I think May or April. So I think I'm gonna do that one when it comes back around. I finally got my bike that I ordered. I think it was legit like 3 months ago when I first got the idea of doing a triathlon. I was like, I should just get my own bike. Finally got it. If the actual triathlon was to go on, I got it the day before. I think it was supposed to be the 25th, October 25th. I got it the 24th. So I thought that was pretty funny. And I've rode that bike a couple times. Oh my god, it's so nice. It's so smooth. Like the group set, it just like there's no problems with the shifting of the gears. I'm not worried about the tires or anything because I had a couple tubes pop on my front tire or my front tire with that bike I was borrowing, and I just did not feel very confident with it. And I'm feeling like a legit cyclist out there a little bit, so I'm kind of happy about that. Yeah. So yeah, with the smoke you said, was it last week? I think it was
It
last
was
week.
last week.
Yeah, on Monday I went out on a ride. That was like one of the worst days, but I had just gotten my bike, so I was like, fuck it, I don't really care. And when I got home, my chest was so tight, and like I was like coughing. I was like, oh no. I was I was like, that was such a poor decision. I should not have done that. But I had to go out there and do it. It was my first ride with a new bike, so I was like, whatever. Um, so yeah, that was it for the triathlon. In the meantime, because I mean it's still a little ways out. It's probably about like 5 6 months or whatever for that triathlon. I think what I'm gonna plan on doing is I don't like say I'm getting to CrossFit because CrossFit has a bad rap, but I really just want to work on. Um, it sounds weird, but I want to get good at like Olympic lifts and gymnastics because I see that type of stuff. Oh, look at that! This baby is drunk. Because I see a lot of like gymnastics type stuff. Like I want to do a handstand. I see people do handstands, and I want to like do that for whatever reason. And one thing that happened after my body was completely beat after the triathlon, but what was really bad was my shoulder, my right shoulder. I had real bad shoulder impingement. legit couldn't lift my arm up above 90 degrees, flexion or abduction. For you non-kinesiology people, that's to the front and to the side. And then, yeah, above 90 and up, it was so painful. Like, I had to use my other arm to help lift it. That really scared me, too. I was like, fuck, what if this, like, I'm dealing with this for a long time? Because I've always, not always, but I had a problem with the shoulder back in the day when I was doing swimming in high school. It was just like an overuse, chronic overuse problem. And the coaches had no fucking idea what they were doing, and they're just like, oh, I'll just have to practice, go get it iced. And I did that for like weeks, maybe months, when I should have just stopped and like done some
So
rehab.
what was like the likely issue? Like too much internal rotation?
Yeah, what back then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would do butterfly. So but I mean, we didn't even do like a ton of butterfly actually in practice. But I don't really know. I guess that'd be internal rotation. So yeah, um, and it caused me problems back then. But then I stopped swimming, so then it wasn't as big an issue. But I guess it doesn't. There's no pain and there's no like structural what's the word? Structural problems or whatever. But there is like some crepitus. It's kind of clicky. So I was like, oh shit, this old injury is kind of finally coming back to me, because I think I aggravated it with the swim part of the race. And then I was like, fuck. And then, so what I just took some ibuprofen and CBD oil to help with the inflammation. Because I think ultimately what it was is just like tendonitis or bursitis. I just had inflammation up in there. Yeah, one of those. I don't know. I didn't get a diagnosis from a doctor, but some kind of just itis, whatever it may be.
Inflammation or something.
Yeah, some inflammation of something, tendons, the bursa, whatever it may be. That's gonna be loud. Whatever. And so yeah, I just got the inflammation down. It took about 3-4 days where I could get full range of motion, where it wasn't painful. And then since then, I've just been working on like rotator cuff stuff. And then that's kind of like, it also works in with the handstand stuff, because overhead stability is extremely important for a handstand. So I was like, it kind of goes hand in hand with the rehabbing the shoulder, making sure it's sturdy and good, and then also improving with my handstands. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Right on.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to say I want to get into CrossFit, because CrossFit it gets such a bad rap. But like, I like Olympic lifting, and I like the gymnastic stuff. So I want to to be able to do a handstand and get actually like good at kipping pull-ups. Like, a lot of people shun kipping pull-ups, but they can't do them. But it requires a lot of core stability. Like, have you ever done like that hollow position? Are you familiar? Where like like that extended position like in a pull-up, but you basically do it on the ground. There's this guy on Instagram I follow, Barbell Physio. He's a really good follow, and actually I posted a video of myself doing one of the exercises he had on his page, and I like tagged him, and he liked it, so that was kind of cool. But
the kipping pull-ups kind of bothers me.
Yeah, why does it bother you?
Because those aren't fucking pull-ups.
They're not strict pull-ups, but it's a different type of thing, and they're very challenging. Like, it's a kipping pull-up is not equal to a strict pull-up. 100%, I agree. It's not the same thing. Because you, like, in, like, the CrossFit games or whatever, they'll do, like, fucking 100, 200 kipping pull-ups. Obviously, if you had any of them do 100 strict pull-ups, they would not be able to do it. So it's a different exercise. Like, don't think, like, oh, they're doing kipping pull-ups to cheat and, like, do more reps. Just think of it, like, as a completely different exercise. And it's like a different thing. And
but what's the goal of it? Like, what's the goal of it?
Essentially, it's a good point. I don't know. I guess it's just to do more reps so it looks better. Because if you have them like out there doing the CrossFit games, doing like fucking like 20 pull-ups or whatever, they're like, what? I can do 20 pull-ups,
And people can't do 20 pull-ups though.
It's true, but I mean, I guess it's all perception, I understand what you're saying though. Look, I'm not here to defend CrossFit, because a lot of shit, they do a lot of stupid shit in CrossFit. The problem I have with CrossFit is a lot of people that are beginners that don't have the core stability and the force production. They just kind of move them along way too quick and get them into doing way too heavy weight way too many repetitions.
Overuse injuries.
Yeah, overuse injuries are very common. Really, the only people that do it right are like the high level people who already have a base of fitness.
And you follow like a more or less very like programmed, you know, the
Yeah,
program setup where people just come and do like a workout of the day, but they might have done like
yeah,
1,000 pull-ups, not literally, but like pull-ups that one day, and they come back in, and then there's also pull-ups on that workout too, and like that's how like overuse injuries develop.
yeah. When you're just kind of showing up and doing like the WOD or whatever.
A one-off workout.
Yeah, you're just like kind of just destroying your body, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. And I don't prescribe to that. I don't think that's smart. But when you're at like a big box CrossFit gym, unless you're like a high level athlete, you're not going to get any kind of coach who's like really monitoring your program and making sure you're doing the right things and taking the right progressions and whatnot. But I'm aware of, I'm a decently high level coach, if you will, and so I know the proper progressions, and I'm not gonna do some stupid shit and try and do something way more challenging than I know I'm capable of. For example, for the handstands, I can't do a handstand, right? But I'm starting square one, and from what I've researched and with the barbell physio guy who I mentioned earlier, he has a real good progression chart for Olympic lifting, or not just Olympic lifting, but all different kinds of lifts, and then gymnastics progressions and like the different things for that. And so I'm just following along. So for like the handstands I want to try and do, I've just been doing handstands with a box. So I get in a kind of a handstand position, and then I get my feet up on a box. So I'm making kind of like an L. My toes are on the box,
Mm-hmm.
And so
your torso's facing the box.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I'm just that's level one for me.
So where do wall handstands fit in that equation?
That's like number 2 actually. Wall handstands is the next progression.
That's number 1.
Yeah, here I think I actually have the skills chart here saved in my things. Maybe. Pictures. If not, I could maybe.
Is there like a height of this box? Is it like waist height or like what's like?
Yeah, about it goes about up to my hips when I'm upside down. So I like to do them at the Y because I don't have the proper kind of box at home, and so it's the big box and the little box, and I just stack them, and then that's the proper height for myself. And as long as you're doing it methodically, I think CrossFit is good. It's just when you're just kind of showing up and the coach doesn't really care that much, and they're kind of whatever, then I'm not about that. So yeah, so here inverted vertical push. So this is actually to get handstand push-ups, which I don't know if I need to be doing all that, but you can see a box handstands number 1, and then handstand against the wall, and then inverted push-up, because like I said, it's working towards that other one, and then a V shape. So basically a pike handstand push-up, and then a box handstand push-up, and a strict wall handstand push-up, and then a kipping push-up, handstand push-up, which you probably would hate, right? So really, all I'm trying to get to is just the handstand. Actually, this progression doesn't even really technically have it, but I would probably go from just the handstand against the wall to eventually just holding a handstand. So where I've really been working a lot is my core, doing a lot of core isolation stuff. So like these hollow positions, like for kipping here, see the arch / hollow on the floor. I've been doing a lot of those. That's really challenging exercise. It's basically just like
that's just a hollow hold, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is it doesn't look like much, but it's extremely challenging because so you're pressing your low back and your butt down into the ground, and you're keeping your feet like roughly like 6 to 18 inches off the ground, and then your shoulder blades up off the ground. And so you can see that's the position, that kind of arch position she's in, is like if you're doing like a kipping pull up, is kind of that wave type motion. Because you see a lot of people doing kipping pull-ups and they're just flailing all over the place, and they have no kind of core stability or rhythm to it, and it looks awful, and that's probably why kipping pull-ups got such a bad rap. But if you're doing it properly and have a good core stability and get the motion going, it's a good exercise, and it's not the same as a strict pull-up by no means. But yeah, it's a thing, So anyways, that's why I want to get to a handstand and then maybe like a walking handstand. That would be cool. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. And then you can see he has progressions. See, these are all real good progressions for all different kind of lifts. Like for the squat, it goes from an air squat to a goblet squat to a back squat to a front squat to a overhead squat. That's a very good progression there. If you have like starting from nothing, that's like if you want to get a squat, you want to eventually get to overhead squat. That's a very good progression there.
Watching people like do like heavy weight on an overhead squats, like,
Yeah,
super impressive.
I can't even do an overhead squat with a kettlebell right now. And it kind of frustrates me because
it's super impressive.
it looks like not much, but it's so hard, and I don't know what it is. It's just I don't know. I just need to get better. Like I thought the problem was my ankle and my hip mobility, like a little over a year ago. I thought that was the problem, but I've really like dialed it in, and my hip mobility and my ankle mobility are really good now, and I still can't do it. So it's like it's got to be my shoulder mobility or my thoracic mobility. There's got to be some chain.
That kind of reminds me of like something I was going to mention. Like when I switch up my routine, I want to like I gotta figure out something like I've talked about before, like some flexibility and whatnot.
Yeah.
But like I feel like with me, because I already don't like stretching, like I gotta get on some sort of like program or class. Like that's when it's like easiest for me to like stretch. It's like especially since I don't like it, something to hold me accountable.
Oh, my phone's up there. You know what really helps a lot is another CrossFit type thing, but you can use it. You don't have to be doing CrossFit to use it. Is this app called GoWOD?
Yeah, I think I had it for a bit, but I didn't use it.
You didn't use it? I think I might. I think I actually told you about it before.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta like use it, but like it's I can't help you there, but it's like it's very nice because it tests you in all different kind of places that require a lot of mobility, like overhead, hips, ankles. I can't remember. There's like 5 of them. Maybe like lumbar, core. I can't remember exactly, but there's like 5 different categories they test you on, and you just do it on your own, and then you just input the results, and then they give you a score on those 5 sections and a score overall, and then it configures your stretching towards that stretching and mobility, and you can tell it like, oh, I have a lacrosse ball, so you can throw stuff in there with that. I have like a PVC pipe, so you can throw extra stretches in there that require that, or any kind of tool, whatever. And also, so that's for the daily stretches. But then also you could have it like if you want some stretches specifically for the workout you're about to do, you can just put in a couple of movements you're going to be doing during the workout. So say like I'm going to be doing some squats, I'm going to be doing some handstand, whatever, and maybe some rows. I don't know, just throwing it out there. And then you put those movements in there, and then they'll give you stretches and warm-ups for those specific movements. So it's very useful. I like it. I've been using it a lot. Yeah. But the reason I want to get into the Olympic lifting because it's a combination of mobility and stability, which I really like, and also just force production, because you can be mobile and stable in all the proper joints, but also you need that force production to get the weight up, as opposed to like powerlifting where it doesn't require a ton of mobility really, because what would probably require the most mobility is a squat, but like powerlifting squats, they just go to parallel, and that's not extremely hard really, as opposed to like Olympic lifts. If you're doing like a snatch, you're gonna have to drop way down in that hole to catch it. There's unless you do a power snatch, but then you're not gonna be able to lift as much weight. So if you want to lift the max amount of weight possible, you gotta have good mobility and get your butt down. So I like that challenge. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be doing that. So I don't know. And so like the way I explain CrossFit is like gymnastics, Olympic lifting, and like metabolic conditioning. And so that's why I like it too, so I can keep my conditioning up in the meantime, so I don't let that cardio completely go, because I still want to get back into the triathlons and then eventually road races. Once I get more better at cycling, I want to do some road races.
No, they're definitely well-rounded athletes.
100%. Yeah, they're it's just like CrossFit for whatever reason just kind of gets a bad rap. Like I don't know, I think it's just kind of a shitty form on lots of stuff, and yeah, it is what it is. Um, just went on a wild ass rant there.
I'm with you though.
Just staying updated there on the.
Yeah, bro. I gotta check in.
Gotta check in. I don't
Yeah.
think anything's changing, but okay, so that's it there. Just keeping up with that stuff. I'll keep you posted on the handstands. Hopefully next like maybe 2 months I'll have them by the end of the year. Yeah, we got 2 months. I think I could do a handstand by the end of the year.
That's the challenge.
Yeah, shoot for like a 10-second handstand. Okay. Anything else on the fitness aspect of it?
No.
Working out.
That's
I was ranting. All right. Next off, should we talk about the wine? Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. So
what's happening? I don't know.
well, I mean, okay. So we've been talking mad shit about the Y, right? We don't fuck with them anymore.
We have.
And so did I talk about? No, this happened since then. So I was talking to a employee of the Y, who shall be unnamed, and I just posted something. So I first off I created some video programs because I want to get into online training. Because what I've noticed with a lot of from my Whoop is that a lot of my training, especially the group exercise classes, is they put so much extra stress on me cardiovascularly that you don't even really consider. It's almost like I teach 4 classes in a row on Tuesdays, and then on Fridays I teach 5, and it's almost like doing 4 classes and 5 classes. Like my cardio, like I'm kind of peaking at like 160 beats per minute, which is like, like a good steady state cardio kind of session, for 4 hours. So I'm like, I know I can't be doing this for like the next like years and years and years, and I need to like for the group exercise classes I do teach, I really want to teach ones that I really care about, and this like boot camp classes, like those are for the birds. Like I want to teach very specific things that I like to teach, and so because of that, I want to get more into the online stuff, which we've kind of talked about. So to kind of get going on that, I've started creating video programs. So my first one was just a 4-week body weight training program, all like calisthenics and like those animal flow type stuff. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
Like Primal Soldier, he does some of that kind of stuff, and then his girlfriend, Francesca. I like both of them. They're both pretty cool, but she does a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's like just your standard calisthenics, but also some of that mixed in there, animal flows or animal movements, whatever. And then also just some like sprints and some agility work. And I just made it free, and I just was like, if you sign up on my website, you can just have access to it. And I'm just gonna put it out there, and then just see the response and see how it like people like it. So I just record all the videos of me doing the stuff in the park. Because at first I wrote them down in like a document, and I was like, this is like not that great because anyone can do that. It's not. So I was like, it would be better. And I got the idea from Primal Soldier is to make a video so they can see you do it and also explain it a little bit more in depth. So I made that first free one, and then now I'm gonna move. Because I'm the kettlebell kid, I'm gonna do a kettlebell based one. And that one, once I'm done with that, I'm gonna charge people for it. But how did I get on this rant? I have no idea. I just
flowed.
I was just fucking talking, bro.
I was along for the ride.
So I just got into video programs. Basically, is the moral of the story. Because I want to get more into like online training and whatnot. And that was because like I've noticed is Tuesdays and Fridays those days are just kind of washed for me. Like I can't work out and also teach all his classes because like at the end of the day my strain on my Whoop is like maxed out, and it's those 2 days are just kind of a wash. I can't really work out and do what I want to do. So I've been making the video programs, and I'm excited about that. Because we've talked about it before. What is it? The income.
Passive income.
Passive income.
Yeah.
And I need to get better at that and start working towards that because just like basically trading hours for money. It's cool and all, but you gotta work more towards that. And those are the first steps I'm making. Oh, but then okay, that's why. So I was talking to the YMCA person that shall not be named, and I basically just put that out on my social media, and then they got back to me like, "Hey, this is super sick. I'm glad you did this. That's this, that, and the other." And then I asked them like, "Hey, are you still doing stuff at the Y?" And they said no. They basically got shafted like me, and this person had been there for much longer than myself. I've been there for like 2.5 years. This person was there for like about 6 or so, and I was pissed I didn't get any classes. This person didn't get any classes.
Damn.
Can you believe that?
I want to talk about all the tea. That's what we got.
I mean, how do you have someone that trained and taught classes for you for 6 years, and both me and that person were also teaching classes via the Facebook Live thing in that period with the PPP loan, which we didn't have to do. That was some fucking bullshit. That was, you know how hard it is to teach people that aren't there? Like, it's hard enough teaching the people that are standing there. You gotta teach the people that aren't there.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then you're gonna leave us both out to dry? I was like, bro, what the fuck is up with the Y? They talk about all this community bullshit.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're not there for us.
Yeah.
That's dog shit. Like, you're not talking about what you're preaching, if that makes any sense. You're not doing what you're preaching. So, and now, I mean, this is real serious business. Our boss basically got laid off, which I mean,
Sounds like it.
Yeah, like if it sounds like Mario's taking over the duties for literally everyone.
Yeah, I wonder if he's doing Benji's job too.
It sounds like it.
You know?
They don't have any more employees left.
Yeah.
They don't have front desks. They have like half the maintenance.
I mean, they let go Benji like when this all happened, right?
Actually, you know what? I heard that Benji's still there, but just like limited hours, and Annette is there, but still like limited hours.
Okay, good.
But
Actually,
Ron,
if they let Benji go, I'd be pissed. Yeah, they let Ron go, right?
they let Ron completely go,
That's crazy.
and they cut Annette and Benji, which is whack.
Absurd.
Whack. And let pretty much everyone at the front desk go. And yeah, so basically our boss got yeeted. Now, unfortunately, I hate to say it, but if you just listen to what I had to say and follow through with it, you'd have a job. I mean, right? We talked about it. I had so many ideas of what to do during the pandy.
Yeah.
You know, we could have done virtual PT, and they could have pushed it harder. Like, there wasn't an email from him about personal training until they were like, oh, people still want to do training. Remember, he sent that email, and he was like, oh, people are, inquiring. Is that the right way to say it? Inquiring?
Yeah.
About personal training. So we need you guys to start putting in your availability to do orientations. I'm like, you guys are just figuring this out? People want to train this whole time. You've been twiddling your thumbs for months. And, I was talking about doing the virtual PT from the RIP with the PPP loan, and then also doing the health coaching, which I feel like, especially at that time, was super important because people were losing their routines. They were stuck at home. It just becomes Groundhog Day, fucking doing the same shit over and over and over. So, making sure people keep those good habits of, eating the right foods, not overeating, still getting out and getting some fresh air, getting some vitamin D, all the simple stuff that, even myself, I was lacking at a certain point with the quarantine. Even the most motivated and driven person, that was a tough time. Like, I was struggling for a little bit. And also getting the fit zone going, which that's the reason they moved all the equipment out to the turf, right? And then
They weren't doing it, right?
No, because I talked to Irby. He said, oh, yeah, we moved all the stuff out there. In the next week or two, we'll get it going. And I just never heard anything again about it. And, I wasn't pressing because I was like, whatever, I don't care. I think maybe by that point I was already working at the camp. I can't remember. And now, I mean, they have Mario running the fitness program, basically. The whole fitness.
It's kind of funny, huh?
Yeah, he's fat as fuck. If
Yeah.
you don't know,
Yeah.
If you don't go to the Y, which if you're listening to this, you probably don't, but if anyone's listening.
Yeah. How's that saying go? Something about like the blind leading the blind or something like that, or like
100%.
Yeah.
It is.
It's like, that's a
They're just trying to like hold on barely. I mean, they've burned so many bridges at this point. Who are they gonna have left when they do reopen, if they ever do? Who's gonna want to go back there? I know none of the front desks
I mean, I don't want to work there, but I like it was like a home away from home. Like it was fun. I liked it.
It was. That's the thing. It was really kind of community.
Yeah.
Like it really was at that time. But like as soon as it got tough, like that just went away.
It's because they just laid down and take the pandemic, man. That's why.
Yeah. Essentially they laid down and they were just like, well, you know.
Yeah. Take it easy on me.
Yeah, exactly. Take it easy on me. And that's real unfortunate, you know. But you you can't save everyone out here. You can't save everyone.
Yeah.
Do I have anything else to say about that? Oh yeah, so basically the moral of the story is they got their comeuppance, and look, the people that really be out here doing it are doing fine. Because I was teaching my kettlebell class there. I won't disclose exactly how much money I was making teaching there, but now I'm basically teaching essentially the same kind of kettlebell class, but just rebranded at my new place called the Camp, and they call it elite training. It's like small group training. It's a max of 10 people per class, and I'm making nearly triple the amount per hour to teach that class, as opposed to when I was teaching at the Y, which is like wild, because I'm making commission off of it. So basically all I have to say is fuck the Y, because like you say, we were the ones making everything happen. They like the old folks out there. They were just like, what do you? I don't. You had a good way of explaining it. I can't remember.
Well, like you're talking about like the liberal and conservative like train
yeah,
spot.
Yeah.
I mean, like young folks tend to be like creative and like more liberal and like creativity wise and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like when things are dead, like they come in with the fresh ideas that spark new growth. But then because like they're so all over the place because they're always trying to do new things. Like sometimes once they've got it going good, they try to do too much. So like that's kind of when you need like the conservative types or the old heads to come in and be efficient and just like run the train on the tracks and get things flowing right.
Yeah.
And let them do that. But like I said, when things start going off the deep end or not working anymore, that's when that new blood needs to come in with their ideas, with what's working, because like they want to go out into the workforce and do something new.
Yeah.
So they weren't running with it.
That's and they just refuse to do that, and they will pay.
Yeah.
They will pay. So that's it. I'm teaching elite training. That's going cool. That's fun. Hopefully, I'm gonna be teaching more of those different types of classes. I already talked about the video programs. Want to get more on the online training. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess online training. Do you know if our guy Bedros has any content about online stuff?
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched it, but
do you know if it's out there? Because I need to. With in-person training, it seems a lot more simple to me. I get it, I understand it, like the steps to it. But like online training, it's just like this abstract concept of like how do you?
I haven't really learned it per se.
Yeah, like how do you get people, because with online training, ideally you're gonna reach people that you wouldn't be able to reach like in your city. So I would say like just hypothetically, I just find how do I get someone like Chicago or whatever to like find me and then be like, yeah, write me a program and I'll pay you like this much money a month. Like it's just like, it's just I don't understand how to go about it. I wish there was some more knowledge out there about that. Do you get the ads for those type of people on?
Mm-hmm, I think so.
Because all of them seem like just like bullshit.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them are just they're themselves trying to make money off of selling that idea. So a lot of them do seem like BS. But I think Bedros has I think he has something, and like I like his ideas. So like
I really like his ideas
because like there's some like fitness influencers that, like, and most fitness influencers, if you actually know anything, are kind of shitty. Like there's like one girl, for example, like I think she's studying exercise physiology like in Florida or something, and like she's actually like she knows her stuff. Like when I read her posts, I'm like, okay, yeah, this girl knows her stuff. But I
Yeah.
know like she does like online coaching and whatnot too. So it's kind of like I kind of try to like see what she does or like how she sets it up.
What's her name? What?
It's like something like Julia Taylor Fit or something like that.
Julia Taylor.
I think so. But like she's just like just kind of reminds me of us, except she's like a really pretty girl who blew up her Instagram, you know. But like she knows her stuff, and it's like I kind of like we both know our stuff, you know. So I'm just thinking like how did like what did she do? Like how does she do like you know the online training per se? You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be cynical and shitty, but I mean, 100%, it's way easier for a chick that's like pretty and has a good body
100%.
because it's just like it's just easy on the eyes, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like you get them sucked in, and then you actually give some good information, or not even good information, just make them feel good, and it's like
Yeah,
boom,
I mean
boom,
most of
there
them
you go.
like are just some of them are just like naturally like genetically gifted, whatnot, pretty, what, and like that's kind of they just have to put out BS, you know. But this one, like I said, like I recognize like the content, like the quality of her, like the information she puts out, and she calls out like kind of stupid stuff that's always pushed in the fitness industry and whatnot. Like,
Does she really?
yeah.
Hmm,
So like,
interesting.
she knows her stuff. So like yes, she did have it going for her that she's a pretty girl, you know, like. So, yeah, I'm damn sure that helps. But she also knows her stuff, which is kind of refreshing because so much of like fit or Insta fitness stuff is
Yeah.
so bad. You
Yeah,
know?
it's very bad. All right, I'll check her out. Cause yeah, I mean, I'm really trying to figure that out. You know, I was doing a little bit with Ethan's girlfriend. That was like my first like online one, and I was like doing it through True Coach, and that was really good. And then both of them just like dipped. They were like, they were both like, "Oh, we don't have enough money for this anymore." I'm like, "What? I mean, what do you mean you don't have enough money now? Like we've only been doing it for like a month." Maybe a little over a month with Ethan, and then like a little bit less with her. It's like, well, I mean, don't you know like budget or like do you know how much money is your bank account? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
But like that's why it's so hard to like hit our age group. You know, like I trained my soccer buddy, and he said like he really liked it, and whatnot. But like his girlfriend wanted to get a gym membership and whatnot, and it's just like too much for him to do, which I totally understand because like he works at in like he's our age, you know, and
Mm-hmm.
like to pay for like training and like without devaluing us for an extended period of time, like it is kind of hard, you know, unless
Yeah, I get it.
especially if you're targeting our age group,
Yeah,
you know. So like, I don't blame them. Like it is a good investment in themselves, but like when they're also trying to like pay for rent or gas or something, you know,
yeah,
like it's a lot harder for like people at our age than people like say like 5+ years older than us, you know.
yeah.
So
Like that one girl, Annalisa.
yeah.
She finally opened that DM that I sent her.
Mm-hmm.
I think I told you she was just like not
Didn't
reading it.
fly or something. Yeah.
But it's just like I don't know when you don't open a DM on Instagram. It's like it's been like it's. I know you saw it. You use
Yeah.
Instagram every fucking day, so it's like just
Yeah.
open it and just like bite the bullet and just say like, hey, I don't want to do it. But I saw it was a scene. It's just a scene. She didn't reply. I'm just like shady.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I get it. Like you just explained, she's got other stuff going on in life. But it's like at least just be upfront
Yeah,
and just
like I don't mind if you're up front, just don't
because
string me along or just whatever. You know?
exactly because like I was kind of I was kind of like almost expecting that money to be honest because like I try and like I need to get QuickBooks or something because my financial game is not up to par, but I try and keep track of everything, and I write like possible clients and like I try and do it by like green, yellow, red. Like red's a hard no, not gonna happen. Yellow maybe, and green for sure. And she said for sure, so I'm like, all right, perfect. And I take that into account in regards to like my Google Ads things, and I try and keep a certain amount of money going towards that, but just making sure not to spend too much money on it. And it's just frustrating, Um, if you can't pay for it or you don't want to do it, just say it. Don't like you know just don't be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then hit me back up in like a month and a half, 2 months, and then I do that, and then you also don't reply to that. It's just frustrating.
I feel
Business, you know.
I feel that.
I mean, I guess that's it is what it is when you work for yourself, like basically. There's no
Safety net or no.
yeah. Yeah. So, what are you gonna do? But it's almost an hour now. We can probably wrap it up soon. But I possibly might have a lead on getting a studio. So I'm excited about that. One of my clients, Tessa, she has a friend who's in the fitness kind of thing. She's a trainer, and then her boyfriend also is a trainer, but he does more like kickboxing and martial arts and whatnot, and like self-defense. But they both train, and then she had just mentioned to me like, oh hey yeah, or actually it was at her dad, because I also trained her dad, and her dad was, I had mentioned to him I was like looking to get a studio, and she was like, oh you should talk to Tessa, her friends, this that, and the other. So if I could do like a three-way split of me, her, and then the boyfriend, of splitting rents on a studio, and at this point it'd probably have to be down in Orange County just because things aren't opening back up here in LA County, but whatever, I don't really care. And then just doing different types of classes, like he does like kickboxing type classes, so you get those kind of folks. Then you can do the HIIT training kind of stuff, the kettlebell. You can get all the types of equipment and whatnot, and it would be a lot easier to do group exercise classes, and then you have your private lessons, and Bob's your uncle, So that's what I'm shooting for. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate you don't want to go along with us, buddy. I had this dream.
Hey, it could happen. I need some capital.
Capital.
Yeah.
I understand. What was I gonna say? Fuck. What was I gonna say? I can't remember. But yeah, just moving equipment around. Like I want to get into like doing group X stuff, but the volume of equipment and having to move stuff around, it's almost not even worth it. And I was considering getting the big like box truck thing, but I think that's also like just too big of an investment for what it's worth, really.
Yeah.
I think the way to go at this point is just like a studio. But it's a slow roll. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a very slow roll. I'm trying to be patient with it. Our boy Gary V, he always posts videos. And he always, I noticed with him, he always posts videos about like particular topics when you really need it the most. And he just posted one the other day about patience and just like, people try and rush through it and try and, hit all these milestones, just bang, 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 bang. And I'm already just like an anxious person and just don't like sitting around waiting for stuff. So it's hard for me to just be like kind of just going with the flow sort of thing, but this kind of is what it is at this point. All right. I think those are all the topics. Do you have anything else to talk about? No.
That's it for this one, I think.
That reminds me, we were supposed to watch the Greg Doucette video, but we that was a cap. So
what was that on? I forget.
It was a response to the Nipard video that we talked about last episode. At this point, that's kind of old news. So
who knows? We might try to bring it up.
Yeah, or maybe I like kind of our topic for the day. I like kind of basing it on a YouTube video, as opposed to just some random kind of fitness related thing. So at least keep it kind of current. So hopefully someone posts something in the next like week or two that's interesting enough, to talk about. That's like kind of in the circle of things we like to talk about, and we'll report on that. And I think that will be some good wood there. But other than that, yeah, this is about an hour. Nothing else. I felt like I rambled for at least 45 minutes of that.
I rambled in the beginning. It's fine.
So, it is what it is. But, yeah, that's it. All right. This has been For Us Academy Podcast, Episode 8 with Zach.
Adios. And Josh.
Adios. Peace out.